My name is Laura. I host this game show. You might win tickets. I really hope so. Don't you love it when I write show tunes to open the show? Okay, I didn't write it, but I wrote it into the script. You know what I'm saying. And it's true, you could win theater tickets. That's what we do here. We reward you for your fandom. That's why we're called Reward the Fan. Welcome, I'm Laura Heywood, and it's Wednesday, and I'm wearing pink, and this button says fetch, which can only add up to one thing. It's time for Mean Girls Trivia. Every Wednesday, I host the RTF Broadway Trivia Series, so most of the questions will be based on Mean Girls the musical, though I promise it will only help if you know the film too. Mean Girls is the story of Katie Heron, a formerly homeschooled teenager who moves to a new city and is torn between cliques at her new high school. What's the cost of choosing popularity and power over authenticity and kindness? What happens when she tries to impress a cute boy by pretending to be dumb, even though she's a legit math genius? And what does it mean to be a real friend? OMG, Mean Girls is seriously serious. It's also hilarious. It was written by Tina Fey, after all, and it has one of the best cast recordings ever. Here's how the game works. I'm going to ask you 10 multiple choice questions about Mean Girls. For each one, 3 potential answers will pop up on your screen, and you just need to tap the one you think is right before time runs out. For every question you get right, you will earn reward dollars, which add up fast, especially if you've been sharing your referral code with friends. The code is just the same as your username, super easy to remember, and you get reward dollars for every question your friends get right too. So, fetch. Speaking of fetch, which I will not stop trying to make happen, today's prize is 1,000 reward dollars. And if you get all 10 questions correct, you'll get a share of that jackpot. And one of you will win our grand prize, 2 free theater tickets. We are about to get started. I just need to remind you about a couple of things first. At 7:30 p.m. Eastern, head over to the Reward the Fan Facebook page for our Facebook Live tailgate with Alyssa Salvatore. She's going to give you some hints for our 8 p.m. summer movie trivia. That's happening here in the app. And Alyssa is giving away Fandango gift cards. You definitely want to be here for that. But first, Mean Girls Trivia with me. We've got MLG Beast, Roman 783, and Musical Nerdy, love that username, all ready to go. And we also have 1,229 people tuned in right now. I'm going to grab a sip of water from my Mean Girls cup. Now let's get started. Who wrote the book for Mean Girls the musical? Tina Fey, Tracy Morgan, or Alec Baldwin? I will give you a very big hint. She is one of the best comedic writers of all time. She spent years writing for SNL and then performing on the show, notably as Sarah Palin. She also wrote the screenplay for the Mean Girls movie. And I told you her name in the intro. Your answer to question 1 is Tina Fey. She wrote the book of the musical, also called The Libretto, which is all the stuff in the show that isn't music and lyrics. And speaking of books, both the film and the musical were inspired by the 2002 book Queen Bees and Wannabes by Rosalind Wiseman. Looks like over 1,000 of you want to be in question 2. So I'm going to set my cup down after one more sip, and we'll get to it. How many acts does Mean Girls the musical have? 2, 9, or 146? Now, there are different act structures for different shows, but they're usually in the single digits. In fact, I don't know that I can think of an example where that's not true. Shows like Frozen, The Lion King, Pretty Woman, and basically every other Broadway show has either 1 or 2 acts. And Mean Girls, well, does it follow that structure? Your answer to question 2 is 2. As much as I would be impressed by a show with 146 acts, I'm not sure I could stay in one place that long. The average 2-act show is 2.5 hours long, which means 146 acts would be about 117 hours? No one loves theater that much, which is saying something if even I can't imagine it. But you know what I do love? Giving away prizes. So why don't we do a reward box right now? Everyone who got this question right is entered to win our question 2 reward box prize, which is 2 reward dollars right now. And we've got 2 winners. So the theme is 2, which is too cool if you ask me. Lol. Okay, it looks like our winners are Lady Tanya and Brady Bunch. Congratulations to the two of you. You're each taking home 2 reward dollars. And they add up quick, and we've got more to give away. So let's keep this game moving with question 3. In Mean Girls, what is a burn book? A matchbook? A book with rumors and gossip? Or a book of poetry? Mean Girls is all about life as a high school student and all of the social cliques that accompany that. It can be a tough time for anyone, especially because teens can be pretty nasty. Sorry, teens. One example of that is the burn book, which is pink, and it's carried around by the characters in the show. It's a book with rumors and gossip, an old journal of Regina's that has all kinds of secrets and insults and rumors in it. 909 of you are burning through this game, and you've just booked a ticket to question 4. In the film Mean Girls, who plays Katie Heron? Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, or Amanda Seyfried? The musical is a success in its own right, of course, selling out the August Wilson Theater on the regular, but the film is a classic. All 3 of the actresses I mentioned were in the film, but only one played Katie. Amanda Seyfried was Karen Smith. Rachel McAdams was Regina George. So your answer is Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay was the star of the film, and Erica Henningsen brilliantly plays the part on Broadway. 821 are playing your part in today's RTF Broadway trivia, and we're moving on to question 5. What date has been dubbed Mean Girls Day by fans? July 3rd, August 3rd, or October 3rd? This date was chosen because it's referenced in the show. It's a famous scene that features Aaron Samuels asking Katie Heron what day it is. If you don't know this one, inspired day was a Wednesday this past year, and it is October 3rd. My new favorite day. Fun fact, on October 3rd, 2018, the audience at Mean Girls all got mouseier so they could dress up for Halloween as sexy mice, just like Karen Smith. I personally prefer sexy corn, but maybe that's just me. 625 of you are sexy fans because you're halfway through the game. Here's question 6. In what city did Mean Girls the musical make its debut? New York, Washington, D.C., or London? Now, a lot of shows launch off-Broadway or have what's called an out-of-town tryout in another city before coming to the Great White Way. That's the case with Mean Girls the musical. It premiered fittingly in a place known for rumors and gossip. Not necessarily the same kind of rumors and gossip that take place at North Shore High, but Washington, D.C. is your answer. Mean Girls the musical debuted at the National Theater in D.C. before moving to the August Wilson Theater on Broadway about 6 months later. 373 of you are still in the game and making a move to question 7. In what country did Katie's family live before she moved to North Shore High? South Africa, Kenya, or Egypt? Now, Katie grew up homeschooled by her parents in Africa. At the start of the show, the family moves to America. Katie is especially excited to see an obese person and try a Starbucks venti chai. They specifically moved to Evanston, Illinois, but where are they moving from? We know it was a country in Africa. You might have a clue if you know the words to the opening number of Mean Girls really well. The answer is Kenya. The country is home to lions, elephants, and rhinos, but it is no longer home to herons. Ba-da-ba. 239 of you are still in the game. That's so many, but since we are giving away 1,000 reward dollars, even if every single one of you gets all the rest of the questions right, you're still each going to come out with a nice little chunk of reward dollar change. I want to remind you, that was a fan fumble, that last question. That means so many of you thought it was either South Africa or Egypt. It looks like about 270 of you guessed South Africa, 3 guessed Egypt, and 239 of you are moving on to question 8. Now, the actor who played Aaron Samuels in the film went on to host which TV show? Restaurant Impossible, Cake Wars, or Cutthroat Kitchen? Now, this is kind of an obscure question, but the actor who played Aaron Samuels, Jonathan Bennett, went on to host a Food Network show. He was also in Cheaper by the Dozen 2, Van Wilder Freshman Year, and my favorite, Celebrity Big Brother. But as a host, It was Halloween Wars and Cupcake Wars and your answer, Cake Wars. Now, his name isn't Aaron, it's Jonathan, but every time I see him, I'm like, Aaron Samuels. He's certainly the guy to call for all of your pastry judging needs. Is this game a piece of cake? If you think so, we will continue on with 262 of you who are ready for question 9. What role did Tina Fey play in the Mean Girls film? Ms. Heron, Ms. George, or Ms. Norbury? In the Broadway show, all 3 of these parts are played by the same actress, originated by Carrie Butler, who's now in Beetlejuice, and currently played by one of my all-time favorites, Jennifer Simard. But Tina only wrote herself a single role in the movie, and it was Katie's calculus teacher. Her name is Ms. Norbury. Is Ms. Norbury a pusher? You have to see the show to find out, but I can tell you that 276 of you just pushed your way into the final round. All right, one last note before Q10. Make sure you stick around till the end of the broadcast because I'm going to be telling you next week's theme so you can get a head start on studying, and I'm going to practice my diction. All right, now for the win. Question 10. What insect is Regina George compared to in the show? Fire ant, horsefly, or queen bee? Look, if you've got to be a bug, this one's not too bad. In fact, there's a very popular musician who's also known by this nickname. It was Katie's friend Janice who described Regina this way, due to Regina's legions of followers who live to serve. Honey, I hope you got this one right, because the answer is queen bee. Now, sometimes people call Regina bossy, but you know what they'd call her if she was a boy? Reginald. All right, Mean Girls fans, I see stars. I see 277 stars, in fact. You're our winners, and just like when Katie broke apart her crown to give a piece to everyone, you each get a share of tonight's $1,000 reward dollar prize. And that's not all. We've got a pair of theater tickets going to one lucky fan. First, let me shout out some of tonight's reward dollar winners. I love that so many of you played, and especially that you've been using those extra lives. Every time you refer a friend, you get an extra life, and so do they. So make sure you get that reward code out to everybody. Congratulations on your $3.61 in reward dollars to Shaula33, Addie Burke, Goners, LJ Yee, and so many other people that are taking home 3 reward dollars and 61 reward cents. We still have one thing left to do, so let's do it. Let's run that ticket lotto. Now, your names are flying by faster than the bus that almost took down Regina. Yikes, is it too soon? Can something be too soon when it's fictional? I don't know, but one of you mathletes is going to be chosen as our grand prize ticket winner. No matter where you're located, there will be something awesome for you to see on stage. So if your name is picked, you'll receive a list of events near you to choose from. Just make sure to make your choice within 24 hours. And if you need any advice, just slide into my DMs. I'm at Broadway Girl NYC. All right, I think we have our winner. The winner is Honey99. Congratulations, Honey. Speaking of queen bees, 2 theater tickets are going to you. You go, Glen Coco. I hope you're freaking out because you should be. This is a big deal. Send us a video of your reaction. You can do that on the RTF TV section of our app. And that way we can all celebrate along with you. To everyone watching, thank you so much for playing. Make sure to join us for the tailgate on Facebook at 7:30 p.m. Eastern and for summer movie trivia to win those Fandango gift cards with Alyssa at 8 p.m. Eastern right here. I'm your host, Laura Heywood at Broadway Girl NYC. Make sure you follow us at Reward the Fan across all the socials and tune in for RTF's Broadway Trivia Series every Wednesday. Now, get those encyclopedias out. That's a book. It's like what came before Wikipedia, before the computer age. Next week's theme will be classic musicals. These are shows that debuted on Broadway before 1990. Until next time, just remember, your hair looks sexy pushed back, and we will always be your biggest fan. Good night.